What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're gonna be checking out a title called Eventide Matter. I played around with a demo of this game a while back and actually really like the graphical stylings of it. This is a game where you are a little mining drone way out in space that's trying to reassemble a massive warp gate so that you can get back home while loads and loads of enemies are attacking you periodically in between your mining trips. I like games like this that put pressure on the player and make you work inside of time constraints. I find that to be very compelling, so I figured we'd check the game out today for about 30 minutes and see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. The game right now is like $5. I don't think it's that long. I took a brief thumb through kind of like the forums and whatnot to figure out what I was getting into in the finalized version, and it looks like the game is probably about 5 hours long. It's a $5 game, but that being said, the link is down below just in case you wanted to give it the old click, and then of course on top of that you can find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links down there just in case you wanted to interact with those at all. But let's go ahead and play some Eventide Matter.
Interdimensional transit successful. All systems nominal.
Vanguard Unit 4 to command. Transit to the Eventide Continuum successful. Ship's intact. Command, do you read? No carrier signal detected. Switching to autonomous mission parameters, Gamma Protocol is engaged. Phase gate construction is now the sole operational priority. The fleet will be saved and this unit will not fail. So there you go, we're being ejected out of our little mothership right here, and we've got this tiny little tug ship right now, and really, the game is going to give us a timer at the top of the screen in just a second, but our goal is to gather as many resources as possible because right now, all that we have is a hub, and we're trying to convert this into an interdimensional gate that will allow us to save a fleet or something like that from an impending attack, and so let's get to it. First thing we need to do, we need to grab some of the silver ore right here, and anytime you want, you can press the tab key. That's going to bring open your inventory and your crafting interface, because obviously we're just not mining this stuff for our health. We're mining this in order to get a gate built and also to provide upgrades for our ship. That way we can protect ourselves a little bit better once the bad guys get here. If we press the tab key, you can see here we have our inventory. And in fact, one thing I think this game does very well that I recall from the demo is that crafting is very painless in this game. It's very fast, it's very rapid fire, and you can whip up a bunch of stuff almost at automated levels in order to put things together as you get further on into the game. But for right now, we're going to need a bunch of bolts and we're going to need a bunch of metal plates in order to get the space station up and running. While that stuff crafts, I'm going to keep mining away on some of these little rocks down here. There we go, grab some of those little goodies. I do think there's an opportunity here to make the mining laser sound a little bit better, a little bit crunchier, a little bit more impactful, like it's actually busting its way through stone. In general, I do feel like some of the sound effects could have a little bit more punch, more specifically the ones that have to do with mining, not necessarily the ones that have to do with fighting enemies and things of that nature. There's also a possibility, like I think both of my sliders are 100% right now, and so I may just need to rebalance them real fast so that I can look at them one more time, or I guess listen to them one more time. But for right now, we've got a whole bunch of ingots ready to rock. I'll probably just whip out 2 more bolts and 2 more plates while we wait, and then we're going to go back into our mothership over here and we're going to see what we can craft. For right now, we can only forge structural frames, but the cool part about this is the space station actually gets bigger, sort of anime Gundam style, or I guess like Megazord style. As we build onto this thing, it actually gets like attaching parts and stuff like that too, and it's just going to queue up iteratively the next thing that we need to build based on the stuff that we have inside of our inventory. So there you go, we've completed our first section and we've got one of the arms out a little bit further. Now you'll notice the clock is spawned, so we've got 2 minutes to build as much onto the space station as we possibly can before the bad guys get here and try to shred us up. So let's get out here and mine some space rocks. Hopefully we'll get down the tech tree a little bit further. That way we can start getting some better mining utilities, start getting some turrets and some defenses and things for when the invasion comes. But at the moment, we just got to scramble fast and make this thing happen. Little bit of metal coming on board right now, which is good. There we go. Big rock knocked out of the way. I do like the rumbling nature of destroying the rock right there. It sounded very good to me. We'll build a few more ingots. Every ingot that I can queue up for right now is going to be an ingot saved for later, and we'll keep on mining down here. There we go. Perfect. I adjusted the audio levels. I actually feel like the stuff in this game sounds okay. I started listening to it when I made that little edit back there, and I was like, well, it started out with both the music and the sound effects at like maximum 100% capacity. Maybe that's what's doing it. Like, maybe they're not supposed to be mixed like that. And so I gave it a try, and I think I've got it audio balanced a little bit better, and I'm finding that the sound effects are a lot more satisfying where we're at right now. Let's get 3 bolts, and as soon as that's done, we'll get 3 more plates. All right, that's been knocked out. I don't know how many more plates I'm going to have when I'm done with that. Give me like 2 more right there. That'll be fine. Invasion's coming in 30 seconds, so if we want to get construction done, we should probably do that now. Let's hop on board, and we will get frame girders out here. Beams, beams, beams. There we go. All right, so we're looking good. What do I have on board right now that I could potentially do something with? I think I just needed more plates. I don't have it on screen written out what I'm actually going to need, and so I'm just sort of eyeballing it as I go, but it looks like we're mostly building frame for right now. But 1 second till the enemy arrives. We're going to have to help out with this defense because we have no turrets, no guns, or anything else rocking along. So let's start putting some damage on him. It doesn't look like he hurt me altogether that badly. The good news is, as we take down these pink crystal monsters right here, we are going to get a resource that once we jump out of here, so you notice how it says that the phase gate is sealing right now, we're not going to be on this map anymore once that meter fills up to the maximum. We jump to a new sector, and all of the pink crystals that we managed to harvest in between these waves and whatnot are basically going to be used for almost like pseudo metagame progression, I guess. It's not metagame progression literally, just due to the fact that it doesn't persist in between deaths, but we're going to be using it to like upgrade our tech tree and increase the amount of stuff we can do in between our levels. There we go. We got a couple of crystals on board, but my HP's getting low. Let's dock up and get out of here. And out of here we go. They're zapping me right now. I love this hyperspace transition right here. It looks really, really, really good. So we've got 63 pink-ass crystals on board that we can use to upgrade things. We can actually make it so that we have centralized storage for bolts, centralized storage for plates. We can increase the size of our inventory. That way we can store things up a little bit more. We can get plasma cannon robots to actually defend our station, which I think is probably priority number 1. I'll go ahead and build one of those. I very much like that interaction right there. How when you click on this, it shoots sparks in every direction. You get a satisfying sound effect. One thing that this game absolutely knocks out of the park is that this game has a very satisfying user interface to interact with. I don't know who made this game, but whoever it is actually has a fairly solid just grasp on UI design. And this is one of those things that in indie gaming I see all the time. The UI tends to be the baby that gets thrown out with the bathwater. It's very, very rare to get indie games where the UI has actually been focused on and polished to a fine point where it feels very nice to interact with to the player hand. This game does a great job at that, so kudos to the developer. I will get the mass bolt storage and the metal plate storage. We could get more prosolium whenever we go get the silver stuff. We'd increase our vision radius. Is the tractor beam on me, or is the tractor beam on the mothership? I guess we'll find out. I suppose we'll figure that out. And then I will increase my inventory size by 1 slot right there. And at that point, I think we're done. I don't know exactly what these buttons do. I think it just turns off the background for people that don't like the look of it, but I very much like the look of it. It's got almost like a Super Saiyan flying through the sky look in the background, and I like it. We'll exit hyperspace and let's see if we can survive another day in this mining life. Okay, so landed we have, and we are fully healed up in between runs. Let's get to the mining real quick. Got a little bit more inventory space to play around with. I don't want to get too far from the mothership. I'll also do my best to start manufacturing a little bit earlier, and I do like how when the mothership actually enters the sector, it knocks big chunks out of stuff. I don't know, I think that's really, really cool how it destroys all the asteroids on its way in. We do have a fundamental conflict right now that we've got to pick between. We've got to decide whether we want to get pink crystals or whether we want to get ore now. What do we want to spend our time mining? I know that we needed another plate. I'll build 2 more plates for right now, and then I don't want to scan out too far here, but let's see if we can get one of these big meteors down or one of these big asteroids down while everything else is processing out. Give me a few more ingots. Okay, we've got our ingots going. Good stuff. I think we're all nice and clacked out. Give me a few more ingots, and then we'll go back to the mothership and see what we can strap onto it. Back inside, and structural frame crossbeam should be finished off. So now we're actually done with that. We've also deposited the other building stuff that we had on board. Now would be the time for us to whip up several more bolts and several more plates. I do wish that I had a little bit more queue space. Is the clock running while I'm actually inside the dock? It looks like it is. Okay, let's get these frame girders built. There we go. Frame columns all nice and good to go. And we're going to need a bunch more of the bolts, and we're going to need a bunch more of the plates as well. I think I saw something off to the left. We do have points of interest being flat. Oh my god, look at the size of that one. Dude, you bring that one in right there. You're a space mining legend. We have to get... Oh, God, there's some kind of storm. Okay, never mind. I didn't want it that badly. You don't have to shoot me with space Zeus juice, dude. I don't need to feel that right now. I'm not trying to feel the crackle like I drank 100 Mountain Dews. You can keep your giant asteroid. Maybe later on I'll get some kind of shielding or something that mitigates that. Give me a few more of these plates out here. We got 3 minutes left on the clock. Part of me does want to go after the pink crystals that are off to the right and just see if I can get a hold of those. But I'm also actually really interested in building those drone parts. If we can get those done. I don't know if I can only, like, solamente forge those things or, like, how they're going to work for me, but get the plates out so that the tractor beam drags those in, and then I'll do my best to deposit everything at home. As far as crafting goes, how do I make, is it on, like, tier 2 defense bots? There we go. So for a plasma bot, we need plates. All right, so give me plates here. We need, let's build that. And give me all plates for right now, and whatever's left over, we'll put into bolts real quick. Good stuff. Throw those all into storage. Get that all queued up. And now that it's queued, give me some defensive bots. We'll get 4 plasma bots if I can manage them. I very much like the way as well. I've said that a couple times during this episode, but I like how the little sprites actually fill in the progress bar right there as you're getting more drones. Do they come with me, or do they specifically work just around the space station? I was kind of hoping they would follow me around and orbit me. I like being a drone pilot in just about every piece of sci-fi media ever. Everything from EVE Online to, like, X, any of those games, I always operate a drone boat. I don't know what it is about having an army of killbots that makes me happy, but I feel like in life, I should have been gifted by, I don't know, a benevolent deity. Somebody should have given me the ability to just have my own drone swarm to kind of pillage and terrorize with. I think that just sounds absolutely fantastic. Oh, what is that thing right there? Hold on, we're getting metagame currency right now so that we can unlock more on the tech tree. But what is that? Is that like the thing in Mega Man X? If I go into it, am I going to get like Falcon armor? Oh, it's like a mega crystal. Oh yeah, dude, we definitely got to take this thing down. Oh, Jesus! Okay, all right, so you can't get it all in one sprint. It harms you. So that's a good thing to be aware of. I don't know that we're going to have time to functionally mine that thing down and actually get it done, but I would like to, but with 40 seconds left, I just don't know if it's going to be feasible. Let's just load the mothership up with as many nuts and bolts as we possibly can, and once we've got those in play, we'll start adding more parts to the station. We're also going to get a first-hand example of how well all of these drones operate. I can't tell you how good they're going to be, but I think they added the drones since I played the demo so long ago during like a Next Fest or something like that. And so I don't actually know how effective they're going to be in the greater context of the game, but I guess we're about to find out. Let me jump into the mothership real fast. We will repair. That will give me my HP back. We do have enough to build a couple more parts of frame. Oh, never mind. Let's get out of here and help out with the defense. Ooh, I love that deep, bassy sound of the hull actually taking damage right there. That's nice. What's up with these rocks? Oh, they're holographic rocks? No way, dude. Okay, so there's going to be, like, different things that we're interacting with out here in space. What about that thing? Can I shoot that? I mean, it looks like I can shoot it and damage it, but it looks like it's going to take some kind of elemental weapon or something, maybe? I don't know. I mean, it's definitely like a hologram. I'm sort of curious. It's like a cloaking device or something. If I destroy it, do I get anything awesome? There we go. Mothership's ready to go, but I want to scoop up all of the currency out here before we go. Give me the currency. I think we can hold. I actually don't properly know how much HP the ship actually has right now. Grab everything we can because the drones seem like they're doing a pretty good job at the moment. And I don't see any flames or anything coming off the ship, so I can only hope that it's going to be all right. We'll just take this as an opportunity to farm a little bit. Okay, I farmed for a little bit, but all of my drones are getting aced and shot out of the sky right now, so I think it's time to go. It looks like the enemy has actually escalated their attacks pretty aggressively. So let's get the hell out of here before they get us with that pinkleberry magic. And we now have access to more technologies. I will get let's get more ship health. How do I get to tier 2? I want to get to tier 2. I'll take inventory space for right now, but everything needs to be divisible by 3 because it takes 3 ore in order for us to get like certain things done. And so as long as this is divisible by 3, I think we should be in good shape. I'll also boost up the ship's health a little bit, maybe up to like 20 points. We'll get more vision range. That way we can see a little bit further, and I'm going to increase my mining yields now that we have enough inventory space to actually go along with it. I think we should be all right. It doesn't look like we can unlock anything new on the second tech tree, so maybe it has to do with upgrading the station. So let's exit real fast, and this time around, we're going to focus on getting our defenses back up, and as soon as I get our defenses back up, we're going to focus on building out the station about as fast as we possibly can. It does look like the drones make the jump with us, which is very, very nice. That's super good for us. Grab everything we can out here, and then I will start printing off. Good. I will start printing off nuts and bolts. So we'll get 3 nuts for right now, and honestly, I should probably be mining while I do this in order to be more time efficient. This is definitely a crunch against the clock kind of game. I don't know why crocodiles came to mind right there, but they did. Give me 3 plates, and then we'll get another ingot. And I'm just going to keep on mining, and the tractor beam will just pull things in as we get access to them, because I'm wondering if we get all these fins constructed, if that's what's going to take us up to the next tech tier. Give me another ingot right there, and give me 3 more bolts, and then 3 more plates, and that, I think, should probably be enough to, like, mash out the next tech tree, I think. I don't know. I'm not good at doing numbers in my head as of right now, so let's get back over here and keep expanding out the base. So structural frames, that's all been deposited. Frame. Okay, so now we've got a plasma cannon. Very, very nice. Oh, so that's how we get after that stuff. Okay, so we're going to need wiring to go any further. However, I think we do have the stuff on board to get more plasma bots. And so I'll just plasma bot it up for right now, and then for the conduit networks. But it actually looks like maybe we still need structural frame. Okay, that's fine. Let's get out of here. We've got I wish these guys, like, mined things that were around the ship, but I bet you we get miner drones or something later on. Let's focus on getting the frame mashed out first, and then I'll worry about the mining a little bit later. In the case of the plasma cannon, is that better than what I have? It looks cooler. Okay, so we use different elements to knock down different resources. It was exactly what I thought it was when we first came across the holographic rocks. I do like the variation in gameplay right there. Variety is always going to be the spice of life when it comes to a title like this. Mash those out real quick, and then gather up every last bit of ore we can possibly grab. I may try to get the wiring done before too long, but I don't want to dedicate to it too hard. 4 of those going out, we'll get 2 plates. And then I'm going to cruise over this way. I need 2 more plates first, though, as my priority. Let's swap over to the plasma cannon real quick and just kind of... Does it destroy those? It does. Okay, so then we can go to the mining laser, and we can start getting after, I'm guessing this is like copper or something like that. So I need 2 more of those. We are going to need a bunch more of those plates right there. It's called triactite. Okay, so triactite is what we're after now, but it looks like it takes basically the same ratios as the previous stuff that we were lining up. Give me just 1 of each, I guess. That's fine. We'll try to mine off some of the bigger triactite too. That way we can bank it for later. Hopefully get wiring all nice and set up. Triactite is in here. I've got to drop off resources back at base, and it looks like it takes an ingot, and we got like mixed batches right here now too that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Fair enough. All right, I am becoming aware of gameplay mechanics right now that I am going to have to interact with as the future goes forward. Structural frame is all good to go. Conduit network needs wiring, but that's going to require more stuff, and so we've already dropped off everything that we have available to us here. Let's go ahead and grab the 2 wirings. We don't have the bulk storage for those yet, though, so those are going to eat up space in our inventory for right now, but let's just mine what we can mine, because I think we needed a mix for the capacitors. We needed a mix of the ingots of each type, I think, in order to make that work. And so I'm going to try to space this out, but our inventory space right now is limited enough that it might be a little bit of a challenge. Shoot that real quick to get rid of the hologram, and we'll get some of these bigger asteroids down. 45 seconds left on the clock. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Are we full up right now? Not really. Bake those into ingots for me, if you could, please. And then we're going to need a bunch of capacitors in order to make this whole thing come together. So let's just capacitor it up. I think I needed more plates, though, and I think I needed more bolts as well just to get the main frame done. So one thing at a time, I guess. This is one of those games where it's very, very easy to feel stressed, ain't it? All right, we've got some resources on hand. Go ahead and just bake those up, and then we'll convert those into nuts and bolts real fast, and we'll just see what we can get done before the bad guys get here. Get that crystal out of the way. It's in the way of my maneuverability. I don't like it. We'll get into here, and we'll get the wiring going, and then a capacitor. I need another wiring, though, in order to get the rest of it done, and now we're locking down the station. Drones are taking care of business so far. I'll probably break out the plasma cannon and see if maybe the plasma cannon does a good job at Oh, plasma cannon looks like it affects these guys, like, really, really well. Okay, yeah, launch the plasma cannons at them. They're dying very, very rapidly when I hit them with the plasma cannon. So I'm guessing the plasma cannon is what this alien race is weak to. It doesn't look like it works on the proselyte or whatever it is at all. Okay. How much purple do I have? I haven't really focused my efforts on purple on this run, have I? I'm just going to snatch all this up while the enemy is still occupado.
Mothership ready to leave.
Okay, that's fine. Grab a little bit of oh, that's a big one right there. Okay, let's help the drones out. There we go. He dropped hella money, though. That's good. All right, let's get out of here and go to the next zone. I'm interested to see what new upgrades I have available that might make my mining process a little bit more efficient. We actually have a few really, really good upgrades here. So we have wiring and capacitor upgrades. We're going to want those. We can also get more bots to defend the mothership, or we can increase the size of our crafting queue, which I think is actually kind of huge, so I'm going to take that. I think the number one thing that's been getting in the way of me having to make repeat trips back to the ship is just that I have so much queue to work with here, or not enough queue to work with. This is Commander Asteria to Vanguard Unit 4. We received your signal but couldn't respond sooner. The situation here is deteriorating. Refugee ships arrive by the hour. Space and resources are running out. Vanguard Units 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 are silent, presumed lost in transit. You are our last hope, Unit 4. There's no margin for error. Build the phase gate. Asteria out. Okay, let's build this phase gate, man. I don't know if I should focus on like one phase at a time or if I should try to upgrade everything, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to figure out what the best thing to do is here. For the structural frame, we could beef that up. I actually don't really have a way to know how much HP my ship has to begin with, like the mothership, that is. As soon as those are done, do we have like a meteor shower or something going on right now? Why does it sound like we have impacts on the hull? Okay, I'm going to spend the first minute and a half, and I'm just going to load up on resources that are silver, and then we'll spend the next minute and a half just getting resources that are orange. I think that's our best way to play it. I do think that there's a ripe opportunity here for them to have, like, points of interest further out that are not just resource related, that give you, like, big upgrades to the way your ship performs. I think that would detract a little bit from just the awesomeness of upgrading the mothership, I suppose, since that is the place from which all of our bounty flows right now. That's all queued up. Let's put the plasma cannon up, and we need some of the triactide over here. Shoot the hologram, and then over here, we will shoot this hologram. Okay, holograms are down. Let's get to the mining. I need to upgrade my laser strength, too. That's inside this tier as well, where I can make my laser mine a little bit faster, which I think would give us access to those giant glass prisms that are just full of research points for us to play around with. Convert those all into everything that you can that's ingot related. Okay. We now have capacitor storage and whatnot, so I will probably go all in on capacitors right there. Oh, damn. Okay, I'll work on this one while I wait for him to come back. And then over here, we will plasma you down. You do have to work very, very quickly and efficiently in this game. This is one of those games that's kind of got you puckering the entire time. All right, grab this over here. 3 minutes left to go, huh? Definitely not a game for people that are, like, adverse to stress, but, like, it's definitely an aggressive game. Give me another one of those ingots. Okay, we'll get some wires printed out, and then we're going to drop everything off back at home real fast. And I'll probably try to do the upgrading inside the last minute. Well, maybe I'll do it right now. I don't know. Let's jump into the ship. It looks like we've got a turret or something right there. Give me the conduit network. We'll finish that off. We don't have any wiring left, so we'll go back and we'll work on the frame for a minute.
Section completed. Section complete.
Okay, third frame's done. We're moving things along right now. Maybe I should have increased my bot capacity, though. I don't know. I don't know what we have back on the ship right now. I would like to be able to see that on screen, too, so that I could prioritize a little bit better. But either way, we'll grab everything that isn't nailed down and we'll just ingotify it. We added another wing to the space station, you know what I mean? I thought that the conduits were going to be like turrets or something that would fire at the enemy, but apparently I'm wrong about that. We do have some ingots left, so I'll probably take these and convert them 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. And then I'll probably put in 4 plates once we're ready to go right there. Okay, there's our 4 plates. We are going to have to drop this stuff back off at the station, though, with only a minute or so left to go. And I haven't spent any time getting purple crystals for right now. I'm just going to back out instantly after we drop off the resources. I think there will be time to eyeball and figure out what we have versus what we don't have later on. This asteroid right here is being tricksy. There we go. Blast that. If I can snake one... I can't snake one through the gap right there. I was going to try, but didn't go that way. All right. Let's get as much orange stuff as we possibly can. Orange came through at a pretty decent rate right here. The tractor beam's still pulling stuff in as we go along, but I'll probably go like 4 wirings right there, and then we're going to need another plate. I need more silver. That's what I need, is I need more silver. All right, let's go get some more of the silver stuff real quick before this thing starts to rapidly deteriorate. I do think it's probably going to be in our best interest, too, to farm a little bit here to get as much pink as we can. I think I had an underwhelming amount of pink stuff on that last wave, and I would like to have more pink stuff in the next wave. Okay, so we've got the ingots. Give me like 4 more capacitors. We will drop these off back at home, get the plasma cannon out, and we'll help out with the defense and grab whatever we can around here. Yup, give me everything for upgrades that I can get my hands on. The enemies are a little bit modular, too. Like, when you shoot them, like, little bits and pieces come off of them, which is kind of cool. Alright, we got that right there. I'll probably try to hold for as many waves as I possibly can. At least until I start to see physical damage being sort of implied by the ship, I think. We can't really craft or do anything right now anyways, so... Big ship right there.
Mothership ready to leave.
That's fine. Mothership can be ready to leave. Mothership's going to wait a second, though. I got to feed the beast out here a little bit so that I can get a bunch of upgrades on this run. The drones are still holding, so I'm still feeling confident about staying in for more waves. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, unload on it. Yeah, don't let that thing fire a shot. That's like the enemy equivalent of a Death Star, dude. I'm not trying to deal with that at all. Knock that out of the sky. Oh, there's another big one over here, dude. Okay, yeah, we might be getting overrun a little bit. I'm going to sit right here so that I can tap the old right click the second that I need to get the hell out of here. But for now, drones are holding. Well, maybe that was optimistic. Okay, let's get out of here. I might be pushing my luck a little bit. Let's get out of here.
Entering hyperspace.
Okay, so on tier 2, we definitely want to be able to have more bots. so that we can expand the defensive grid. I wanted the upgraded laser. Upgraded thruster is good too. Upgraded plasma cannon probably be a pretty decent idea. But for the moment, plasma cannon fire rate, that might be good. I can get a couple more stacks of inventory size. And if I could just boost up the fire rate on our plasma cannon a little bit, I think we'll be good to go. But I do have my closing thoughts about this game already put together. I love it, actually. This is a really, really well-defined, small-scale game that is perfect for a new developer to play around with on their first foray into game making. It's topped off with just ice creamy visuals. It's a really, really good-looking game. I don't think I've seen a game that I liked this visual representation of space. I haven't liked it this much since Wayward Terran Frontier, which, I don't know, Wayward Terran Frontier is probably doing something somewhere. I don't even know where that game's at anymore in its overall development process, but it is a gorgeous looking game. The sound effects are well appointed. I do think they could use a little bit more Newtonian physics on the movement of the ship just to give it that sim feeling, but it's not mandatory. That's just like a personal preference, as I like it when Newtonian physics are a factor inside of my top-down space shooters, but not necessary. Really, the only thing about this game is that it's only like 4 to 6 hours long, but I would definitely recommend the developer think about making a sequel after you get done expanding this guy on out. Make a sequel, because your core gameplay right here is very, very compelling. It keeps the player on their toes constantly with decision making, trying to figure out like, okay, what should I be building next? What should I be crafting next? What's my priority? What am I worried about? What's falling apart right now? And it's oh so satisfying watching the space station get a little bit bigger as you go through the game as well. I've really been enjoying that too. Like, I'm honestly quite curious what it's going to look like once I actually get it back up to a higher level. Like, how sophisticated is the thing going to get? Because in 30 minutes, we're on tier 2 right now, and it looks like it goes up to like tier 8. Oh, tier 6, sorry. Apparently my Roman numerals, I saw them out of the corner of my eye improperly. Give me all defensive bots right now. I'm wondering when I bet tier 3 we get different types of bots too, because in some of the videos, I think I saw like shielding bots and mining bots and stuff like that. We can expand out wiring here, I think, but it's going to take double wiring to finish off the last tier. But all in all, I'm very, very happy with this title. This is almost precisely what I would recommend the scale of a game for a first-time developer would be. It's condensed, it knows exactly what its own identity is, it operates well inside of those parameters. I haven't had any bugs, I haven't had any crashes. It comes in at a very, very live price point of $5. What's not to like? My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were playing around with Eventide Matter. Tomorrow, we'll be playing around with something else. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I had a great time with this one, actually. This was a big surprise for me this afternoon. I'll see y'all later.